Hi, it's Ray from ProShaper Workshop in Charlton, Massachusetts. And what you're looking at is a 300S Maserati. We made this wireform about 4 years ago. In fact, Brian, my employee, made this the first wireform he's ever made. Did he do a perfect job? No, but he did a damn good job because it looks really well. And what we did with this with the students is we made steel panels first out of 20 gauge steel. I didn't trust the students with aluminum, but aluminum's like twice the cost of steel, and the students make a lot of mistakes. So I says, well, we'll make them all with steel. The lesson here is important, and this is a student learning vehicle. Someday it might get together. I'm in no real hurry to get this together as a running car. What's important is the students learn the lesson of how to make complicated compound curved panels. This is aluminum now. And these were done using my flexible shape pattern. And with the flexible shape pattern system, and we don't need to use gauges because we have the wire form, various students made these panels. And for some reason, I don't know why, but it seems like the Canadians do a better job than anybody else. And there's like, I think 2 Canadians did a lot of these panels that you see in the front here. These panels are not finished. As you can see, they're not welded together, they're not trimmed. All that will be happening. This is going to be the focus for the next person that comes in as a 24-day or a 13-day student. If they want to work on this, they can work on other stuff at my class. It's always their option. But I think this is a really good learning tool. And hopefully we can start working on the front of this car. It's a beautiful car. It was designed by Minato Fantuzzi. Fantastic designer who got copied by a lot of the other designers around the world. You know, you just can't get any better. So now I had the opportunity to work with a student from Vancouver, British Columbia, Canada. He called me up and said he wanted to extend his learning capability. He's 25 years old, and he said he wanted to take my 24-day class, which is 24 10-hour days in a row. And if you look on my website, it's pretty affordable for what you're getting. He came down, and he had gone to a school when he was like 19 years old up in Alberta, I believe it is, Street Rod Technologies. And I think he was there, he said, for 8 months. And he can correct me later because we're going to bring him on camera. And he learned a lot of the basics there. Didn't do too much aluminum work, I don't think. His focus was more hot rods, and that's mostly steel. I like to teach my students the amazing characteristics of aluminum. And aluminum, in my belief, is the only way to make a car body. If you're going to make a hot rod or a sports car or anything, aluminum is the way to go. And once you learn how aluminum works, you'll find out that I'm right. It's just unbelievable. It's just an amazing metal. But now let's bring Julien in. So here's Julien. His name is Julien Garant. He's living in the Vancouver area now. He's working at a shop called Jelly Bean Auto Crafters. And they're mostly doing hot rods, but they're kind of expanding into other cars and stuff. They want to do the sports cars and everything. So Julien, what do you have to say about the car and your experience and so forth?
Well, like you said, I had a little bit of the basic knowledge of metalworking and whatnot, and when I came out here, I really wanted to learn that last, like, let's say 10 to 5% that gets that metalwork to fit in properly.
Something that everybody stumbles on, that last 5%.
Exactly, because like I found like I was able to start the panels, but I could never finish them. And so when I came here and I told you that I wanted to do the last 5%, and as I do a lot of like that body work and paint and stuff like that, so I have that eye, and you're able to show me what are the steps that I needed to do to do that last 5%. And I think that's what I ended up doing today. And then like I had loved it. The people that I met here was incredible. The car that I was working on is a beautiful car, and it had pushed my limits every single day. I had a notebook. I was filling out every page and just the details.
Very methodical. Yeah, very serious, very methodical. And he's a painter mostly right now. And his painting ability, which is all about surfaces and seeing flaws, that was really a big asset in what he did here at the class.
Exactly. I noticed a lot of similarities between doing body work and the finished metal work as well. of just identifying those lows and highs, and then what are the steps. And I thought that was perfect for this course. And
now, I say metal is clay all the time. Do you believe metal is clay now?
Especially aluminum. Oh, man, was that ever nice to move around? Like, I worked with steel a lot, and yeah, I cannot do the stuff that I was doing here.
And you can do it with steel, too. We didn't do steel. We did all aluminum. But the steel works the same way. And it's just amazing. Metal is clay. Now let's take a look and see what he did. All right, so you saw the front of the car with all the separate pieces, not welded, not trimmed. This is Julien's work. This was the same way. A whole bunch of separate pieces, not trimmed.
Yeah, I'd say this is probably one of the most intensive courses that I can find out there. There's a lot of people doing like the weekend courses, 4 days, stuff like that, but no one's ever done a course that you actually work in the shop for multiple hours and stuff like that, or like for a month. So I figured if I want to come and learn by you and whatnot, I'm going to make it worth my while. Like, I'm 5,000 kilometers, 3,100 miles away, and I decided, you know what, if I'm going to come out here, even if it's just a 4 days, like, I'm not going to get it. I want to come out here for the full attempt. So I decided to come out here. I drove all the way, all 5,000 miles. Took about 5 days to do it. And I got about another 5 days to drive all the way back, but it's going to be awesome because I drove cross country, which is great. It's always on my bucket list. But yeah, I've been here, and I think I was like one day a week I spent just to relax a little bit. But yeah, I was full on all 10 hours for 24 days, and I don't regret it. It's worth every penny. It was awesome.
Well, thank you.
Yeah. And so as you see, like the panels in here, we started at the bottom.
Yeah.
And we were,
let's say, how many panels were there on the bottom now?
There's 1, 2, 3 for this section. Yeah. So we got these panels fitting good, welded up the seam up the middle, got this panel fitting really good, and then we welded all the way across. So there's a big seam that's all hidden now. And then this side was pre-welded up here, but wasn't fitting properly. So we spent some time, got that down and got that fitting. And then got that side done. This side was in pieces, so we did this side, plenished that, got that fitting really nice. Got this side same as well, welded down the middle, and then once we had it all intact, we ended up welding the seam on both sides.
We had to put 2 little annex pieces.
And then we had the panels that were pre-made were a little short on the sides, so we had to fill in. So there was a little triangle piece on both sides in this area that had to be built from scratch, so that I had taken part. And then we did the back cowl as well, got that fitting really nice and welded together. And then we have this whole back piece essentially all finished up.
So all together there's this one panel here, which he called the back cowl. And then there's 2 inner rear fender sections, so that's 3 pieces. 2 outer rear fender sections, that's 5 pieces. 2 triangle pieces, that's 7 pieces. The deck lid, 8. This one was 1 piece, that's 9, 10, 11 pieces total. And how much butt welding of aluminum did you do before you came to my class?
0.
0 butt welding of aluminum. And you can, if Mark can get over here and see his welds, they're just about invisible. They're beautiful welds. They were all TIG welded. We use argon helium 50-50 mix with an Everlast 210 EXT welder. And, through the years and all the students' advice and friends' advice, and we've got this refined really good. And now we found this 4943 aluminum rod, and we're having just really, really good results with it, which is different from some of my earlier videos. We used to use 1100 rod. And never have any cracking issues, hardly at all with it. If you do have a crack, it's only because you stuck the tungsten in, you got it dirty or something like that. So Julien is an exceptional welder. He could,
all on steel though.
Yeah, all his welding was steel, but it easily translated to the aluminum. And you can see, I mean, this is seam in here, you can't even see it. Now, this has been buffed, but this was a real high shine anyways, because my wheels on my English wheels are polished very nicely. Fred was in today. He was buffing some brass, and he decided to come over here for the video. He says, let's doll up the car a little bit. So we buffed it out. And when you do buff it out and get the real high shine on it, you can reveal a few spots that might have missed his attention. So there's a little bit of choppy water right in here. and that has to be planished out a little bit more in a few little spots. And the gap here has got to be tuned a little bit more on this deck lid. And other than that, we're very close to as good as it gets. And remember, this is all a student effort. This is the earlier panels made by students, and then the panels now as they are as a whole assembled by Julien. And some people might say, oh yeah, but Ray probably had a lot to do with that. How much time do you think I had working on this?
I don't even know if you even touched the panel.
Did I actually put it in English reel? You did the whole thing yourself.
If I had a problem, you're just like, do this, three steps, and then I did those 3 steps. I'm like, oh my god, it worked. Like, yeah, it was really incredible.
So he learned a lot of little tricks and stuff, and the results speak for themselves. I mean, it's just astoundingly good.
I think there was like a couple days where I was like wheeling for 8 hours. Like it was like almost the whole day was just one panel, just trying to figure it out, and can't get that experience.
He has the most important element, which is patience. You have to have patience. And I believe just about anybody can do this. I probably mentioned this before. My daughter is a singer. Please subscribe to her YouTube channel, Allison McTavish. She's an incredible singer. Go find her, Allison McTavish. She has a really good ear. When she's in a band and someone has a bad note, she can hear it. I can't hear it. When I'm watching her show, I couldn't tell the difference. And I found some students, they can't see problems with surfaces. But Julien, being a painter, can see those surface problems. That's what he's doing all the time. He's sanding, because a paint job is not spraying paint. A paint job is all your substrates, how you handle all that, how you build your surfaces up. But here, we're not building surfaces up, we're building the actual foundational surface. So all you need to do when you're done is a light prime, maybe a heavy prime in a few little spots, and then you paint it. And the thinner your coating is, your paint coating, the less problem you're going to have with your paint. How fast did the days go by?
Oh, it was like a blink of an eye, and it was like, oh, it's lunchtime, okay. And like, oh, it's supper time. Like, I'm still on the same problem. And then he's like, oh, it's time to go home. I was like, shit, like, I kind of want to still work. And it's like, yeah, it was a lot of work, but yeah, it was flying by, and it was so focused on learning, and yeah, it's exactly what I did.
All right, would you, a lot of your focus is hot rods. Would you like to make an all aluminum hot rod?
Oh, of course.
Yeah.
I can pick up this whole car up myself.
Yeah.
Like,
let's just for shits and giggles here, we'll take the deck lid out, and we'll have him lift this up, and you see, and actually we could weigh this. You won't believe it. I can't imagine how much it weighs, but we'll bring a scale out, and we'll weigh this and see how much this weighs. Oh, we did a few little modifications to the wire form earlier, a couple days ago, when we had to take this on and off to planish out things. And Mark and I will be doing a video showing those modifications we did in another video later. But it allows us to take this off. All you had to do was take a little pry bar and pry a few little spots around on the flange on the boot lid here. And it basically popped right off. So we set up a scale here. And Julien, why don't you go on the scale and weigh yourself here?
I don't know. I haven't been eating very nice since I've been here.
154.
Oh shit, 157.5. I did. I was 150 before.
You gained weight down here?
Yeah. Yeah, I did.
178. So 20 pounds. So there's the back body section, 20 pounds. And for a good little photo opportunity, maybe we'll lift it up and see if you can hold it up with one hand. Can you do that?
Oh, yeah.
From the bottom without dropping it? I'll try to catch it.
Yeah.
There you go. Look at that. So you can see the whole body by the time we get it all done. There's one hand holding the whole back section. The body's going to be under 300 pounds probably. That's with the Superleggera tubing. And that is the round tubing, and you can use square tubing too if you want. That will reinforce inside and give you a structure. And we'll be showing that later in other videos once we get more of the panels done, showing how to use that Superleggera system. Superleggera means super lightweight. It's Italian. Andaloni, I think, that was the founder of Touring Coachworks, came up with the idea of using the round tube as the inner structure for bodies. And it's the best system out there. You can make your hot rods with that system. You don't have to have all those pressed and stamped inner structure stampings that kind of baffle everybody. Round tubing works fine. Anything else you want to add, Julian?
It was worth coming down here and taking your course, and I would definitely recommend it to anybody that's even thinking about it. It's worth every penny, every hour to come in here, and try to come here for more than just a 4-day. It was definitely worth coming out here for the 240 hours. Yeah. Would recommend it to anybody, and then yeah, and it's actually not too expensive to live out here for a month either. So I definitely would recommend it to anybody that's interested.
During the 4-day class, I think we have about 10 students or 8?
There's 7 of us total.
7 total?
Yeah.
Okay. And we had Gary Johns, I believe his name was.
With the Willys fence.
He was from Canada too.
There was 3 of us that were from Canada.
Three Canadians, that's right. And he had a 41 Willys.
Yep.
That was had fiberglass fenders on. It was a steel car, but fiberglass rear fenders. And he brought one of the fiberglass rear fenders down. And I think we had 4 students making the 2 fiberglass rear fenders.
Yes.
Out of
those out of aluminum.
We made those out of aluminum. Yeah, that's right. Yeah. And Julian, you made one of the pieces, right?
I did. Yeah,
that was your first jumping in the water on the aluminum there.
Playing with the English wheel and. Yeah.
And prior to that, I mean, your English wheel experience so far, I think you told me that you've only made little patch panels, and you made a door skin once or something.
Yeah.
But you've never made anything like this.
Never this complex, never this big of a panel. And
from the 4-day class, you did get a lot of different bits of knowledge, plus the camaraderie in the larger classes is amazing. There's benefits to being at the 4-day class with all the other students and seeing what they're doing. And there's benefits to doing a long-term deal where you have the 13-day or the 24-day. And Julian has experienced both of them. And the thing that's most amazing is I want to see what he's doing when he goes back to Jelly Bean Autocrafters. And I think I've unleashed a monster here.
They're going to hate me.
Yeah.
I'm like taking everything to the next level. Like, what are you doing? But no, it's our company wants to go to the next level, and there's only one way to do it is to learn.
And the owner wants to come down for a class too.
Yeah. Unfortunately, he was supposed to come down with me, but like life happens. Now that I've come out here, he's definitely going to be pushing him to come out, and the things you learn, it's unreal.
Yeah. You've held up the Canadian supremacy here.
Yeah. I'm holding a high standard now for Canadians.
The Americans, they got to really up their game to beat the Canadians. And I got an Australian guy, Tim, coming in May. He's going to do the 24-day too, and I suspect he's going to be a fantastic shaper as well. It's been a great time, and I hate to see it end, but he wants to go home. He's got to go home. Again, thank you very much for all the new subscribers. If you want to help my channel out, and I'll be 72 years old on April 6th, and I'd like to have a successful YouTube channel as my birthday present. I know you guys can do it. That's your job. You got to spread the word. So as you can see, this is master level working, and all you need is a few little tips and tricks here and there, and those are like minefields, and I can guide people through the minefields as long as you've got the patience, and that is probably the most important thing. Julian has the patience. He can do the job, and he's excelled at it, and I just couldn't be more happy with the results. So this will be an inspirational piece for other students to come when they come in and see this. It might be a threatening piece too for some of the students, but I hope we get more and more of this at the class. So I want to thank Julian once again for coming down, and Jelly Bean Autocrafters for having him come down, and hopefully I'll meet, it was Kurt Penner is the owner. Meet Kurt sometime in the future at a class. It's Ray from ProShaper Workshop in Charlton, Massachusetts. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe, tell your friends, give us the comments.